Danielle. Welcome to Danielle's Garden, and today we're talking about the fall garden. So, if possible, we would be sitting outside right now. But in the time that it took me to go fill some soil, I was eaten up by mosquitoes. And I have been, this is a side rant, I have been doing everything that I can to not buy a bug zapper. My dogs, I feel like they're eating really loud. I've been doing everything that I can to not buy a bug zapper. I just don't want that. I don't want to kill the good pollinators. I'm worried that it might attract bees. Also the side of my house doesn't have power, so I would have to extension cord from my front of my house, something. But I've tried natural things. I don't ever have any standing water, and they're terrible. And I need to be able to be outside and not get eaten up. So I think a bug zapper's in my future, even if I only run it for small periods of time, maybe. I don't know. I don't want to run it during the day, obviously, and then attract the good pollinators. I just want to target mosquitoes. Everything else can stay. I don't have any other issues. I just need mosquitoes gone. So that may be in my future. But the point of today is the fall garden. So I have another video filmed, and I don't know which will go out first. And it's about seeds and seed purchasing. And I talked about my recent purchases from In My Gardener. But then what's interesting is I was listening to a podcast. It's new. Let me see if I can find it. And they were going through seed companies that they like and plants that have worked well for them. And it's called the Garden Girls Podcast. And they only have 3 episodes. But one of the girls in it, her channel is Meg Grows Plants. And she's in North Carolina, but a very similar zone from me. And she recommended So True Seed, which I did. But then she also recommended the Southern Southern Exposure seed exchange, maybe. And so I went on there and I got 3 packets of seeds. I got 2 types of tomatoes that are supposed to be really good for the South. And then I got another plant that I have been, or vegetable root that I've been interested in, because one of my beds has a ton of roots in it that aren't vegetable roots. So there's either a tree or something that's kind of been liking the water and getting in there, and it's almost matted of roots, and it shouldn't be. So I was gonna plant some daikon radish in there, and they get huge, and then when they decompose, they put in a ton of nitrogen, and they really help to break up the soil. So even more seeds that I purchased since that video. But it's now time to start the fall garden. I am about 80 days away from my average first frost. So my average first frost is about November 8th and November 9th, and that's 82 days away. Last year, my first frost was November 30th. I had peppers the day before December. So if that were to be the case, then I have easily 95 days until frost. It just kind of depends. Now, that matters for tomatoes and peppers, but a lot of the things that I'm going to be putting in are cold tolerant vegetables and actually do better in that temperature, which is why we start them now inside, and then we'll put them out once it starts to cool down. Right now my highs are in the low 90s, which is nice, 80s, and nights are getting into the 60s. but we could go through another heat spell. It could keep getting cooler. We just never know. So I'm thinking about the fall garden, and so I want to talk through kind of how I plan and what I do to kind of get ready for the fall garden. Got dog treats over here. So I at Tractor Supply today got some carrots. Carrot seed is best when it's new, and I did not buy any new carrot seed earlier this year, so I did need to get more carrots. I also got a sunflower blend, and the reason that I got this sunflower blend is because it's a 55 to 60 day bloom time. So with me having 50 days left, like, I'm in no rush to get this in at all. And then I just got some lettuce, just because I really wasn't sure what lettuce I had, and I have heard that this does well in my climate, supposedly. So overall, things that we can grow in the fall, well, and I'm gotta take notes for how I plan. So I organize my seeds in containers, and it looks like some of these seeds spilled out. So I've got a couple ones of these where the seeds have spilled. So I have this was a gift to me. One of my kids gave it to me. Black seeded Simpson. I have some slow bolt Napa cabbage, which I have never gotten this to an actual head of cabbage. Let me preface, I did get heads of cabbage, but didn't really eat them. So my goal is to actually get some and eat them. Crazy, right? Okay, so then I have Early Jersey, Danish Ball, Perfection Savoy, and kale. So I have a good bit of kale and cabbage, and those are examples of things that we do in the fall and that you do start early. So you can either start seeds ahead of time, or you can direct seed. So I'm going to make a note. And I need to decide. So this kind, Perfection Savoy, is best for a fall harvest or overwintering. So I think I'm going to go with this one. It also has a days to harvest of 90 days, which is fine because it'll be cooling down, but still okay. So I'm gonna hold this one. I really do want to try to get this Napa cabbage to work, and it has a 50 to 55 day grow time. So in early spring or mid to late summer, this looks like it's good for this time period. You can also just generally sow lettuce at this time, but these you would direct sow. So I've got the cabbage that I want. The next thing you can do is broccoli, cauliflower, Brussels sprouts, which is what I have grouped together here. Okay, so I've also never really gotten Brussels sprouts successfully. And one of the videos I was watching today, they were saying the same thing. Part of it is the fact that I just wasn't patient enough when I started these seeds in the spring. Direct sow 3 to 4 weeks prior to the last fall. Okay, days to maturity is 75 to 115, but they are cold tolerant. So may do well for me if they're cold tolerant. Okay, then I've got several types of broccoli, and I almost bought a broccoli today, but then I guess I decided not to. So the Walton 29 is supposed to be really good in my area. And then I've also never gotten a cauliflower to be successful where I'm at. And I kind of just need to do one of each instead of doing multiple different things. Like, instead of doing 3 types of broccoli, I only am going to do one. That way I'm not over seeding, like just showing some control. Another thing is that, oh, here's my lettuce. So these are all my lettuces. This Paris romaine, I actually got it to do pretty well. So I'm gonna try that again. It just bolted before I could really get to it. Okay, celery, I am not patient enough for. Like, this is insane. Like, I can get it to sprout, and then it's like, it just never works for me. This is an In My Gardener salad bowl mix. Also, Botanical Interest throws in the salad bowl. And I also have previously purchased an entire salad bowl mix. I really should use one of these. They're just all direct sown. This one's my oldest one, so maybe I'll do that. But I just need to direct sow that into a bed. So I need to decide where I'm going to put that. I'm going to keep the rest of this over here. Okay. Oh. I have a celery container that my celery needs to go into. So here's another thing. Carrots. Carrots germination dramatically lowers. So this Nantes Supreme and then the Nantes half long. This one was given to me. This one I literally just bought today because I didn't know I had this one. It seems like this one is just slimmer, whereas these ones, this is the standard Nantes type. And it says to sow outdoor in August through October, which is where I'm at, which is perfect. So it's like, I'm kind of doing something right. All the rest of these, I tried, and actually they sprouted really well. And even I had some overwinter in the soil. So yeah, no issues with any of these. And I even have a purple one in here that I got. It'll probably just be time for me to honestly get rid of those, which you don't really normally do, but when it's carrots, it's kind of what you do. So I'm gonna have a direct sow of carrots, salad bowl. And I think this other stuff I'm just going to direct seed, and the lettuce. Okay. Another thing is that you can do herbs in the fall, and then they might turn out better. One thing you can also do is beans. So on the herb front, I got the slow bolt cilantro when I bought my green stalk. Parsley, sweet basil. The main thing that I like is dill. Oh, I bought this and I've been wanting to do it. It's broadleaf sage. I got it from In My Gardener. So maybe I'll direct sow some sage. Germination is 65 to 70 degrees. Zones 4 through 8. Yeah. Okay, then there's basil. This is my cilantro. And this is a Johnny Seed packet, and it doesn't have any pictures or anything, but it has a good information on the back. direct sow spring through late summer. So I'll do some more cilantro. And then last is the dill. So I have two types. I have one from In My Gardener, and I have one from Ferrymore. Partial to full sun, 60 to 70 days. So let's try that. Do those for my herbs. And now beans are also something that you will direct seed. This is my packet of provider beans, and it is dirty and well opened and closed and all the things. I like that bean a lot. That's all I can say about it. Okay. So these are some that I recently just bought. I got the Roma 2 bush bean and the Blue Lake bush bean. So I gotta just decide. This cold and heat tolerant variety produces insane amount of dark green stringless beans measuring around 7 inches in length. This one says it's good for canning or freezing though. Okay, I think I'm gonna go with the cold and heat tolerant bean, which is the Blue Lake bush bean. Okay, then zucchini and squash. You could do a late sowing. My plants are still doing well out there. No zucchini or squash coming off of them, but they're beautiful plants. Cucumber, I could do another cucumber plant if I wanted to. This has approximate days to maturity, 55 to 60 days. So if I wanted to do the pickling cucumber, I could. This one's 65 to 75 days. But the thing is that I think that I'm going to be okay. So I don't think that I really need to do more cucumber, though you could. So that's the thing. It's like if you're in my zone and you want to do, like my dad, he said that his cucumber plant kind of like petered out. So he could do a late sowing now and then get cucumbers in October. So that's something to consider. Now for the fun part, which is the flowers. So I want to sow the rest of my zinnias if they will bloom in time, which I think that they will. So these pink zinnias have a 35-day to bloom. I'm not doing nasturtiums. I'm not doing phlox. Coneflower. Dusty Miller. And I looked for zinnias at in the flower mix at Tractor Supply today, and I didn't see any. So I will have to get more zinnias at Lowe's or Home Depot because that's the only flower that I want to do. Even though the phlox would probably do well because I think they can take some cold. But anyways, so I'm going to hold these zinnias out and then I'll get more zinnias. And then the sunflowers. So I have yet to grow a sunflower that's more than like 2 feet tall. Yes, I'm growing the varieties that are 7 to 8 feet tall. They just are not happy and are not blooming. Like I have one in the vegetable garden now that is gorgeous, gorgeous. And it's shorter than 2 feet. And I'm like, really? So these are all my sunflowers. And I have a lot of them because I keep trying them. So I'm definitely going to do this one because this whole packet probably is a 55 to 60 day bloom. And this is the Fun and Sun blend. Now this Lemon Queen, for example, has a 90-day to maturity. Don't have enough days for that. 90 days to maturity for the Autumn Beauty. Do not have enough time for that. 90 days for the Teddy Bear. Not enough time for that. Days to emerge is 10 to 15. But that's all that I can see. So I'll probably just do this one blend that has the 55 to 60 days to bloom. That way I'm not wasting these seeds, because sunflower seeds are not cheap unless you're getting like the normal kind. Like if you want anything, the botanical interest sunflower seeds are like $5. They're crazy. Okay, so back to on topic topics. Things that I'm going to start today. Waltham 29 broccoli. So I have my tags here. And I'm gonna write, I'm not even gonna name the varieties because it doesn't matter if I'm only doing one type. So I'm just gonna write, ooh, broccoli. My markers kind of run out. And then, let me try the other side. I'm gonna do Brussels sprouts, broccoli, then I just write Brussels. Okay, then I'm going to do Napa cabbage, and I'm just gonna write cabbage. I'll know that I mean normal cabbage. And then also I'm gonna pre-sow this Paris Island romaine. All the other lettuces I'm just going to direct sow. But these I'm gonna do ahead of time. Okay, that's step one. Step two is I have my soil mix here, and these are, you get them on Amazon. So I have enough trays to where I can sow a few hundred seeds. But these are the easiest trays to work with, in my opinion, because they're small. I can just take, okay, I'm gonna take the cabbage out today. I'm just gonna do this today, and it's easier to water. I do have the gardener's ones, which are like the 4 by, like the bigger squares. I like those. And then I have even like the small, like 48 count cell. So I have all types, but these are my favorite for something like this, where I'm not doing one massive tray of one thing. Like I'm gonna be doing different things. So this is where I have to think, okay, well, how many do I really need? Right. Okay, so let's start broccoli. So let's say it would be easy. I can just do one. Well, here's the thing, but I don't need 12 Brussels sprouts either. So I'm just gonna I'll do like 6 Brussels sprouts. I'll do a lot of broccoli. I'll do 12 cabbage, do 6 romaine, more cabbage. I guess I could direct so a few other things because I have the space.